Welcome to another episode of Fun with Engines. So, we've already filmed bits of me struggling taking it apart, but we've essentially got M840T 720S engine, no rocker covers, no front timing cover, no turbos. You've got to take turbos off to get the lock bridge in. On that bank, no cams and no finger followers. So all that's left is the valves, springs, retainers, and the shims. And on this side, I am about to take out the
thingamybobs.
Wiggle shafts.
Yeah, the doobry what's names.
Yeah. So they do the, I feel like Homer in that episode of The Simpsons where he goes, Marge, what's that metal dealie we use to dig food? So we're going to take the variators off, the cams out, the rockers, the finger followers out, and try to get the chains out. I'm trying to take the chains out without taking the compound gear off, but we might have to take the compound gear off, so we shall see.
Okay.
While that is locked, actually, let me see what size it is. Ha ha ha. Like a glove. Okay.
He's got the big gun out.
Big gun. Right, that's off. Well, the YouTube channel shows you the insides of these, me old boy. So, centre bolt out. Boop. Out it comes with the collar. Right. And I'm just going to pop that off. The tensioner's going to go pating, but we'll be repet. So, bolt, 2 bolts. I think I threw the other side at you earlier, didn't I?
You did.
Cool. So I do it again. Like that.
There we go.
Because we got new ones, I'm not too worried about keeping the locks in them.
Where did I put my sockets?
So, same again. This off. Take the bolt out. Take it off the slide. Take it off the chain. Down she goes. So you see me using a gun, but I always crack everything first. So I just use the gun to run everything out.
Yep.
And only on stripping. On assembly, no chance. So we'll do that, and then we'll literally. That's it, a bit too tight. One out. And 2. So that's 2 tensioners out, 2 chains out. But what we can't do, so what we'll do now is we'll take this compound gear off.
Yep.
Which is, I had it, where did I put it? Like so. Like that, mate.
Job done.
Pretty much, that's it. Let's go in. Okay, so the compound gear interferes with the crankshaft. So you've got water pump this side, oil pump that side. That gear then drives the back of the compound gear, and then that gear then drives both timing chains. So, yeah, not too bad. So what we do now is take the cams out. So we'll crack them all off. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets. And then what I always do is I look for the lobes putting pressure on. So no pressure, pressure, no pressure, pressure. So I'm going to undo these last. So I'm going to undo 1, 2, and leave the other 3 in, and then take them out one at a time.
Yep.
So what we do there is we don't put additional stress on the cam. Because if you pull a cam down uneven, don't keep it balanced as it goes in, you can bend it. So again, look, no pressure here, so our pressure's here and here. So they're the lobes that are facing down. So that's where the pressure onto the cam's coming from. Yeah?
Yeah.
So on this one now, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3.
Very methodical.
Yeah. So we get this one out of the way. So we're going to leave that one on. We're going to undo this one.
I'm going to watch this slippy floor as well.
I know.
I nearly went there.
Did you? Slip all the time. Right. So we'll just buzz these out quick. Get my leveraging bar.
Get the persuader out.
Yeah, you don't want too much of a persuader. Just pop it off the dowels, there we go. Like sometimes just oil alone, like there's 2 little dowels in the middle there, but sometimes just oil alone like causes them to stick. Right, so we'll just back these off slightly to give our cams a bit of wiggle room. Right, so we know no pressure on those, so they should come straight out. They're loose. Pressure on those. None on those. None on those. And none on those. Right. So I can chuck all that in a bucket and I know where it goes. Because if you look, you see on the top there stamped 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, and we know then which way they face. So numbers will always face from the front of the engine. Like the other side, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, the cams are labelled. So inlet left, exhaust left, and then right. Okay, so on this engine, right is always when sat in a car. Okay, so the engine's obviously sat behind you. This is the front of the engine, this is the back of the engine. So you can throw everything in it, or this stuff we could throw in the wash tank and know where it goes. Some exceptions to the rules. These are not labelled. They're finger followers. So if we were reusing these, I would then mark them if I took them out of the head, because the cam will wear to the follower. All right, so it's like you don't put old pads on new discs. You always change them both, so they wear together. So it's the same kind of thing. If we're stripping an engine and we're, say, reusing rods or reusing certain items, reusing pistons, we'll always label them, always grind them, so we know where everything goes. Right. So I've got a bit of wiggle on this. Getting oily now. And we're going to do the same again. Now, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to keep going around the circle to bring this cam off. I'm going to crack. And then the valves, the pressure of the valve springs now are going to start pushing the cam away from the head. And if I start doing this one at the same time, I can bring it all off at once. So what would happen here is if I started doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that, I'd lift the cam up and the cam would try to come out of the head like this. So you've got to be careful with that. So like I can feel undoing this one, this has got the most pressure on the nose now because these bolts are coming quite nice and these bolts still feel quite tight. So as long as you come even, that's all that matters. They feel all right. These are going to feel tight. Yeah. So you can see where the cam lobe is, where you're going to sit. And what we need to do is just make sure our locking tool's not binding up on the cam or holding the cam down. See, not quite enough to do with my hands. So as long as I'm not pinching the cam with the tool and that everything's free to move, that's fine. Right, that one's gone. 1, 2, 3. Camera. So we've got 14, 16, so we have 13, 14, 15, 16. Any better? Still nothing. She's gonna blow. I wonder how many comments I get about stripping engines with the gloves on.
We love the comments.
It's not, I do use gloves a lot, but sometimes. So.
It's just not a glove kind of day, is it, mate?
No. Cam's out. Like so. And if we go back then. So these are not tensioned in any way. So now look, mate, Jesus, before we take them out, I'll show you state of them. Look at that. Oosh, you beauty. And that one. That is square. Can you see that ridge in it?
The light's not perfect just there.
I'll tell you what.
Let's come around this way. I'll move here.
If you come in at that angle,
there we go.
can you see how square that is compared to that one?
Yep.
You see it?
Yep.
Come from here as well, mate. Like, look right there. I'll tell you what, let me get a pen. Behind the camera now, do 2 jobs. So can you see it just there?
Yep.
That ridge. And then if you come across to this one, look, you see there's nothing there, it's nice and even. And there's a couple like that. So that's literally, I can feel that is square. It's wiped it there, it's wiped this part, so that's flattened off, whereas that's nice and evenly round. Finger in your lobes. You can see how torn up they are. Like that's got a massive gouge out of it. Just there. And there, look. You see it? That's literally where crap has got caught in it, mate. I mean, yeah.
So we can see the problem.
We can see the problemings. There we go. It's out. And repeat. Like so. Last one. I did this on the other side. Did it for ages, couldn't get it out. I'd realised I hadn't undid the bolts. There we go. So that is all the cams out, all the variators off, main timing chains off. So what we do now is we put the cams back in and shim it, measure shimmings. So we can then, so shims, I think we chatted about this before, haven't we? Yeah. Yep. So literally, look, they just sit on the top of the stem, an inside retainer. So not quite like a motorbike bucket, but similar. You probably find there are bike engines with this sort of design, but majority of them are like pushing buckets that sit in the heads. So give everything a clean. I'll put all the cam bridges in a wash. And yeah, install this lot. I think it takes me longer to lay it all out nicely than it does to put it in the engine. But
so new goodies.
New goodies.
New expensive goodies.
Yeah, so I will try and do something on the shims, on the shimming of it.
Yeah.
But it's late now and I think you're away in a minute, aren't you? So I'm going to put this together now so I can go back to client. But I'll try and capture something, shimming it up, or at least measuring the shims and working it all out. Because I'm going to need to get my measuring jig out because the shims aren't marked with what sizes they are. So I need to measure them all first. And yeah, but I mean, look at it. You can see how bad it is. I mean, you can see, look. You see how just dirty it is, like, if I just keep rubbing. So,
yes.
not good.
Needs some TLC.
Yeah, needs a good oil change. Probably could do with a flush. As in, not a flushing chemical, but fill it full of oil, run it, change your oil and filter again, which we will tell them to do. But how cool is me engine stand, mate?
The engine? Listen, that's what we came here for. Look at that. I'm going to demonstrate, hang on.
And this, and then everything leaks out the insides. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a Volkswagen engine stand. So we use, this is my V10 plate. And then we had a McLaren plate made as well. So that bolts on this way, like so, and then they screw in the front of the engine. And then that bolts the bottom timing cover. The back of the flight bellows in, and then this is an adapter plate to hold it to the engine stand. So
very cool.
Mate, it's proper. Like, it's amazing how much proper change my life. So.
Okay, mate. Well, I'll leave you to press on with this.
I know, I'm knackered now.
Build.
I know. No lightning striking my head though. So what we drop in, well, it doesn't really matter because when this comes out, it won't be this week.
Mate, I'm lost. I don't know where we are.
I know. So I go racing end of this week.
Yeah.
You've just done fast forward.
Yeah.
We had our track day last weekend. So yeah, it'll be all right. We get some stuff done. Do you want us?
There he is.
There are no words.
What a helmet!
Honestly, no words.
So if you can think of a caption for,
right, I tell you what, right. When Davey's editing this, you have got to put in the photo of Carl in John's caterum wearing that helmet because his head is out of the cage. Apart from the fact that helmet wouldn't save him if he got hit by a duster.
That leg down, slide in. That's it. Loads of room.
He's literally driving around in this caterum. Well, he's not. He's passenger, and the cage is honestly like this.
The thing is, if they put it on the roof, it would just spin on
Carl's head would hold it up. Davey's camera is about to go for a trip.
Yeah, with my boot.
Is it, are you filming?
Yes.
Is it working? You sure? Is it going to cut out?
It says record.
Right. It's too hot.
It's too hot.
It is warm. People also asked how much the box of bits was. So it was about 8 grand including that. But remember, the variators are 500 quid each, there's 4 of them. The camshafts were about 300 quid each, which wasn't too bad, I thought. There's 4 of them. Then you've got 8 rocker assemblies, they were 250 quid each. I did say there was 8 of them, didn't I?
Yep.
Solenoids, timing kit. So that's not bad. That's not bad. But before Davey's camera literally melts in front of me, we'll see you next week.
Cheers, bud.
Bye.
Anybody wants to buy a used Sony
a used
873?
Camara.
Yeah.
While we're at selling stuff, buy my R8. Jordan's. Say hi, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Oh, everyone's in that mood today, aren't they? I think it's time we just go home.
On that note,
Cut.
later.